Monday Insights. Hi, everyone. Danielle Noyes here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. It is all about the heat and humidity the next couple of days. We're going to be sweltering on Tuesday. That's when the heat is going to peak for many of us. Hot again Wednesday through the interior, though not quite as hot as Tuesday. And a sea breeze kicks in again. Now, with this heat and humidity in place, some pop-up thunderstorms the next couple of days will break down that risk. Relief arrives by Thursday. I say by Thursday because northern New England starts to see some relief as early as Wednesday, and we'll talk about that. Precipitation forecast over the next 48 hours. A lot of it is focused all the way from the desert southwest, stretching back up into the Midwest for several inches, and some thunderstorms will develop. Here at home, we may get some, but they're hit or miss, very kind of classic, typical summertime as they come on by. Cold front starts to slide into northern New England tomorrow. It's all about the warmth ahead of it. That front, just kind of stalls out on the trailing end, and that's why there'll be a number of thunderstorms in those areas across the northern plains, portions of the Midwest. Here at home, the deeper greens, so the northern half of New England, Storm Prediction Center saying an isolated risk for a strong to severe thunderstorm, and you have to figure with this much heat and humidity in place, any stuff that pops up has a chance to be on the stronger side. So have our app with you. Have notifications turned on, so if a warning pops up, you'll know about it. Wednesday, a couple different areas of low pressure, heaviest rain focused in the upper portion of the Midwest and then stretching into the northern plains. We will still have a chance of a thunderstorm, particularly in southern New England. Again, isolated, some kind of typical pop-up stuff, but with this amount of moisture too, you have to figure anything that does develop will have some brief heavy downpours and potential for some lightning. Thursday, a little wave of low pressure comes by. It's passing to our south, but may come close enough to keep some pockets of rain or some thunder around, but relief arrives generally across the board, and you'll see that here. These are the predicted dew points, so the measure of the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. It gets up near 70. Upper 60s to low 70s. It's tropical. It's soupy. You can cut the humidity with a knife, and you feel it out there today. We'll have it again for our Tuesday across New England. Now, we do get some relief that starts to come in as early as Wednesday for portions of New England. Notice the far north country by Wednesday evening. Getting a little bit of that lower humidity coming in. Central southern New England, we're still going to be quite soupy. By the time we get to Thursday, many of us into the drier air. The only exception, the south coast to Cape Cod, still humid when you're waking up on Thursday morning. But notice our dew points will continue to drop on Thursday as well. And that drier air stays with us to end the week on Friday too. Humidity, obviously, so important. And so many of you have asked for the predicted dew points and the feels like temperature. Well, get it as a member on Patreon. All of our membership tiers have access to that now. Matt put out a post on it. You can check it all out. Membership.onedegreeoutside.com to get more exclusive content. In the meantime, upper level pattern, the energy at 18,000 feet. Matt also put a post about, what's this? Yeah, out in the Atlantic, a brief tropical depression possible. It's going to stay out to sea, but that may form later on today and kind of be quick as it develops and then continues to move off to the east, but a sign that the tropics getting a little bit active here. It's all about the ridge of high pressure, that heat dome over the next several days that will relax somewhat and push south a little bit. So by the time we get to the end of the week, we are not kind of squarely into that. And that's why we get some of the relief to come in along with an increased threat for a few showers. And I'll show you that here. Tomorrow into the heat. Cold front sparks a few hit or miss thunderstorms. Again, not widespread, but anything that does come through may have some brief damaging wind gusts, some small hail possible, heavy downpours. By Wednesday, the front's coming in and it's still kind of near us. You notice there's a warm front, so some pop-up action. My concern Wednesday is that there'll be slow movers because there's not a whole lot of wind. Sea breeze kicks in, so some may develop right along that boundary and have some brief heavy rainfall with some localized flooding. Again, not every community sees a storm. Not every storm will be severe, but it's definitely a day to keep an eye to the sky. Thursday may start with some pockets of rain and showers with this area of low pressure that should sink southward. So by Thursday evening, again, most of us are dry, but the south coast, particularly along and south of the Mass Pike, we'll see the highest chance of some of that. Friday, we've got a couple different disturbances nearby. We're into the cooler air. On the cooler side of the front, there'll be clouds, some breaks of sun, and maybe a late day shower, but it doesn't look like a washout by any means. So the deep heat is here. Daily heat records have been broken already. We'll do it again today and for Tuesday and potentially for Wednesday in spots. Now, the last time Boston officially hit 100 degrees was back in 2022, July 24th to be exact. The all-time record hottest temperature ever for Boston is 104. That was actually set back on July 4th, 1911. Do we have a shot at it tomorrow? Yes, we may not quite get there, but the all-time June record is likely to be broken and to get hot again on Wednesday through the interior, though the sea breeze will kick in. So here's some of the numbers. Yes, we hit that century mark. Southern Maine, southern New Hampshire, down through the lower Connecticut River Valley. Northern New England, sure, we may not hit 100, but we're still well into the 90s. Low 90s, even along the coastline of Maine, near 90 on Cape Cod, too. So when you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel like it's 95 to 105 in many spots, and then 105 to 110 in much of southern New England. So this is, the extreme type of heat. It takes a toll on the body. And unfortunately, we don't get much relief at night, particularly in the urban centers, as temperatures only drop back into the 70s and still really sticky out there. Wednesday, here's what I was talking about. Sea breeze kicks in, so that will bring some relief at the beaches and the coast, including for Cape Cod and the coast of Maine. We still may hit low 90s through the interior. If that's the case, that would be day 4 of a heat wave. And then by the time we get to Thursday, with that onshore wind taking hold, we'll be in the 70s to lower 80s, much more comfortable. Again, that increased risk of showers in southern New England. Friday, slightly cooler than average, believe it or not. Temperatures running in the 70s, warmest through the interior, even some 60s along the coastline of Maine. Track it all, of course, with our app, free on the App Store and Google Play. Make sure you have notifications turned on for the thunderstorm threat next couple of days. And stay cool, t-shirts, hats, all different merchandise. Gift cards on there, too, at swag.onedegreeoutside.com. What about July 4th? The start of the first week of July. Matt's going to have more on that in pattern predictions. Check that out later on today.